Step 1, wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Yo, set your affirmations, aspirations. I got shit to do, the aftermath of preparation. Good food, good mood, blood in circulation. One step at a time, yeah, that's how you make it. Set a goal you control and the steps you take them. I try to pick one thought, have some concentration. And if I make a mistake, it's called education. I try to do this every day, call it replication. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 So life ain't easy, yo, I think there's a reason though. Ups and downs, just like every different season, yo. Sometimes I'm high, other times I'm barely breathing, though. You always gotta fight and hide from the demons, yo. Negative thoughts are poison, they rot. Head full of flies, so here come the clouds. They'll never stop unless I can swap all the bad for the good in my head when I'm lost. Yeah, so I'ma fake it till I make it. Positive thoughts are overtaken, I got patience. One day at a time is how you operate a cadence. A flow, you grow, you show yourself a foundation. Stay away from all the shit that causes temptation. I know that I like to do it cause it's sensation. I live my life in my head like a narration. Don't expect greatness, do my best, man, I'll take it. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
Wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Some people are so dumb that I genuinely wonder how they survive from one day to the next. And then I remember that jellyfish have survived for 650 million years with no brain. So I guess if they can do it.
As you wake up in the morning, you want to find the latest, greatest information about criminal cases and have an intuitive conversation about the suspects associated with these cases. Head over to the Bullhorn Betty channel on YouTube. Breaking news right here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club. Enjoy your stay and enjoy your day.
Well, good morning, YouTube. You guys missed me yesterday, didn't you? Tell me. Admit it. Just admit it. just admit it. You guys know. I got to be honest with you. If you guys weren't tuned into MGL, you guys missed me yesterday, right? You didn't see me at all. I was on MGL's show, and I wasn't expecting to be on there. I just said hi. She dropped the link. I got on there, and we ended up yapping for like 3 hours, right? I mean, we literally talked about everything under the sun, including the new clothes that I got, by the way. Yeah, the sweater's old, but it's my favorite. So, but the dress is new, and I got new boots, and you know, I'm doing all right here Monday morning. Manic Monday for most of you, and I'm just rocking out this morning. Did a whole bunch of research, got my coffee. Good morning. I know we got little ears because one of my biggest fans, you guys saw her. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club, right? That is the cutest stinking girl. I tell you what. Oh my gosh, I love my fans. I do love my fans. I love my audience. I love you guys. You guys are amazing people. But you know what? The great thing about this channel is we just have a way of making everybody talk, period. There's no dispute. Everybody keeps asking, what do you bring to the table? If nothing more, I bring that. I bring that. And I utilize my enemies for what I do, right? So if I want to kick up a shitstorm, excuse my language, all the little ears, I promised you guys I wouldn't say this. Cuss jar, right? All I got to do is go on a channel and say something. And I will inspire a firestorm like nobody has seen on YouTube. That's my power. That's the power I bring to the table. They can't do that. They will never be able to do that. Nobody cares about them, right? We're not in their channels. We're not going over there and calling into their shows because they don't matter. They don't matter. The work we do over here is genuine, authentic work that we take very personal, and we cover these cases. And if nothing more, I bring attention to these cases. If nothing more. We know I do a hell of a lot more than that. Excuse my language. I'm going to work on it, guys. Working on it. But we know I do a heck of a lot more than just be able to create firestorms on YouTube. You know, we go out, we post flyers, we actually search for people, legit search. You know, you're not these fake, for the camera searches like many other creators may do. Actually, authentic searches, searching of buildings, searching in woods, even meeting people out to certain areas with shovels and digging. Yes, we have done that. We have done that. And we have done that right here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. So why is everybody always attacking Bullhorn Betty? Because they got nothing better to do. I have been feeding their families for the last year. So I don't know why they hate me so much, because I provide them money in their pocket. Literally, Bullhorn Betty is paying people's bills that do not like me. That's the power I bring to YouTube. You're welcome, by the way, haters, jellyfish, roaches. You're welcome. You're welcome. And not only that, but think about how much worse they could be doing for these cases, right? How much muddying of the water they can do to these cases. The other power I bring is that they are so busy focused on me, they can't really muddy up a whole bunch of water. They're too busy hating Bullhorn Betty. So we're keeping that element out, right? So again, it's all about strategy, and it's all about using what you have available to you, and that even includes your enemies. And that's exactly what I do, and I do it like a pro. And nobody can deny that. Nobody can deny that at all. I bet you if I came here right now and had a glass of wine with water in it, a wine glass with water in it, I bet you I would cause a shitstorm. I already did it once. I mean, no, there was actually wine in that wine glass. I only had one glass of wine left in the bottle. The bottle's been here for like a month, right? And, but I guarantee if I did that with water, they would still say I was drinking, right? Many people don't realize that even back in my chat rooms, my mod squad chat rooms, I utilize my enemies for me, right? For example, Oklahoma. Athena Brownfield in Oklahoma. Not hardly getting boo for attention. 4-year-old missing because everybody is focused on the Idaho Four. So I strategized and decided, well, you know what? I can't afford to go to Oklahoma, but nobody knows that. Nobody knows that but me and my mods. So what did I do? Get on here. I'm ready to go to freaking Oklahoma with my bullhorn, right? Guess what? Whether they're talking about me going to Oklahoma with my bullhorn, which they didn't, the one thing we are seeing is people talking about that little 4-year-old girl on YouTube, whereas there was not hardly crap on the channels. So when you ask me, what do I bring to the table? I bring that. I'm a professional in that. I've been a professional person that has gone, I've had to utilize strategies such as this because, the political world out there is a hell of a lot worse than YouTube. I can tell you that, right? And you have to be creative when you're out there doing the work that I do that's unrelated to this channel. And so I have learned to use different strategies to elicit the responses that I need. Every time I go out there and cause controversy, we increase because people come here. They want to see what's going on, right? So that's what I bring to the table. Never mind the fact that I'm searching for these kids, actually posting flyers, which a lot of the people out here refuse to even, earmark 1 penny for these kids. Not one stinking penny do they provide to any of these cases. Not one thing. Not one. Not one. Why am I going through this tangent this morning? Because this is a new year. I'm not going to keep explaining the stuff I do. You guys come here, you watch me, you love me. But I'm very smart. I'm very strategic. And if I really want something bad enough, I will get it. Okay? And what I want bad enough is these cases to stop happening. Will I ever achieve that? No. I won't. Why? Because there's pure evil in this world. And no matter how many rules and laws and anything that we do, that will never combat evil. The only thing that will ever combat evil is good. Period. That is the only thing that will ever combat this. That's why we always say, if you see something, say something. Because it takes people being aware of their surroundings to step up to the plate. The more we talk about this, the more people do, the more action that people do in their everyday life. I can tell you personally, a year ago, I probably wasn't as I guess, I don't even know, I used to never lock my door, right? I lock my door. I secure my house all the time now. Not just because I'm being cyber stalked and people drive by my house and stalk me and try to follow me in stores and stuff like that, which haters don't want to acknowledge that they have caused, right? Because I'm just this big old liar. It just doesn't happen. But yet I'm spending a lot of time and a lot of money going to Congress to fix these things. But it's not happening to me. Of course it can't be, right? I'm Bullhorn Betty. I lie about everything. Okay. So anyways, guys, a Gator Girl for Life. I know she signed up as a member a few days ago, but I had a lot of stuff already on the schedule. I didn't know where I was scheduling them, but I knew we were going to have the conversation, so I kept putting them on there. So Gator Girl, you're going to be thanked. Like, I have one more show, and you're going to be thanked on that one too, because once you do this and they're all up, you get posted in every single one of them. So I appreciate I appreciate you being one of the newest members, even though you're not the newest member today. Miss Lee, mom of 3. Good morning, everyone. Pete Peony, Nikki, Colleen, nice to see you. Southern Granny Wolf. I haven't seen ICU in here. I don't think I've said ICU in like forever. So I'm giving a big shout out to ICU. ICU, I love you. Thank you. I saw you in here. You're so sweet. I got to meet ICU in person. And just what a blessing she is. She is really just a very sweet, loving and caring person, and God bless her. And she really is a good tribute to the true crime community here on YouTube. Many of you guys don't know that, but ICU works very, very hard. And she doesn't just, like, she's in here, she's in Justice for All, she's over in MGL, and she works really hard for everybody that she loves and cares for on here on YouTube. So just a big shout out to ICU. All my mods, thank you for all the work that you do. You guys know I love you. I chat with you guys behind the scenes a lot, but ICU I don't really. And so I saw her in here, and I just wanted to give her a big shout out, a big warm Bullhorn Betty hug and some love, baby. It's Monday. Wake up, guys. I see some of you. I can hear you snoring. Wake up. It's going to be a good day. Might be a little manic Monday, but it's going to be a good day. It's going to be a good day. Joan, Angel, Robin, Maria, wake up. Nice to see you. Tammy, Jara family vibes. We got good vibes going on here on the Bullhorn Betty channel this early in the morning. We're rocking it out. I would say something else, but since I got that cute little video, oh my God, we got to do it again. I'm sorry. Biggest Bullhorn Betty fan. Biggest Bullhorn Betty fan. I know all of you guys are saying, I'm the biggest fan. Even Betty fan is back there saying, Betty, I'm the biggest fan. No. You are a big fan. I give you that. You are a big fan. This is Bullhorn Betty's number one fan.
Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club.
The biggest fan on the Bullhorn Betty channel. I'm just joking. But she's so darn cute. I'm sorry. Every time I can have like the worst morning ever, and I can come in here and play that, and it just brightens my day. Now tell me that little cute face doesn't brighten your day. And whoever she is, Bullhorn Betty just giving you a big virtual hug. So if you're watching, you better be being good. Do what mommy tells you to do. Make sure you eat all your vegetables, and you learn and become a good person in this world. So it's just too cute. Just too cute. Stacy D, official Nikki, and we have another beautiful member. This is the true newest member, Maria G. Thank you for becoming the newest member of the Coffee Club. Welcome. We're a crazy bunch of people, but we're true to our heart. We're true to the cause, and we all work very hard here. Even the fans. The fans, I think, work harder than me. Patty, nice to see you. Reap what you sow. Sherry, Chastity and JR, I see you. Good morning. Tiffany, Vape King in the house. Vape King just chatting away. I saw you. I see you. Don't think I don't see you. Nurse Sandy, nice to see you. Sherry, Maddie, Dawn. Is that my Sherry? Sherry, it's nice to see you. Good morning, love. Good morning. I got to call you. Robert's girl. Tiffany. KJ. I think that's just about it. I'm just going to roll through here and see if we got Zelda loves Paris. I've never been to Paris. My bed used to be covered in Paris. You know, my bed I used to have the Paris. Now I got these big, beautiful teal, greeny flowers and it's just pretty. I like it. It's pretty. So, Kayla, nice to see you as well. And Brandy, Heather, Sunshine, and everybody else. Lady 7 Up, nice to see you. Buffalo Mountain Girl. And for everybody else, welcome. Good morning. It's been quite the ride. Oakley Crime News. Come on, I'll meet you. You're cute. You're cute. Let's see here. Thank you for the $2 super chat, by the way. Thank you so much. God bless you guys. So, today we're going over quite a few things. I was actually planning on doing this live at like 9 a.m. And I was talking to my friend last night. And let me ask you guys this and tell me if I'm going nuts. Okay. I'm serious. Tell me if I'm going nuts. But you guys are already going to tell me I'm going nuts. No. The haters will at least, right? Wait for the clip. Wait for the clip channel. Matt and Kent's Rose Garden and Adventures. Good morning to you, Shannon Marie. Sonia, nice to see you. Which brings me to the next point. Karen, it's nice to see you. Karen Davis. We are like one big family on here. A lot of people don't believe it, but we are. And we have a lot of women on this channel, as you can imagine. There's a lot of women in the true crime as opposed to men. Like the demographics are very high for a woman being on these channels as opposed to men. We do get men, and we love all our men, by the way. You guys are great support. And of course, us beautiful ladies, we need security, right? So we love our men. But there's a lot of women on here, and we go through a lot of things that men just don't understand and don't get. And a lot of us are, just normal people. So we care about each other quite a bit. And it hurts my heart when some audience, and nice to see you, Becca, when some audience members are going through a rough time, having some, medical issues, having a loss of life, those are very personal to me. Many of you guys don't know I love people. I love people. I love helping. I have always been this way. Well, I shouldn't say I've always been this way. There was a time in my life I didn't give a crap about nobody, right? But let's be honest, I was all about me. But life changes. You grow. You learn from mistakes and things of that nature. But I love the beautiful people on this channel. And there are a few audience members of mine that are just suffering. They really are. And I don't want to get into their business too much, but you guys know Connie Branch in here. She lost her son and her husband last year. That broke my heart. One of my mods just had some surgery. I've got another subscriber that, is worried, is just completely, utterly worried right now. She's got, I don't know if it was lumps. I don't want to, I was talking to her, but there's a possibility that that she's getting stuff tested for cancer, and she's just nervous and worried and, concerned. So, the only thing I can do is the test results aren't back. Just don't get yourself worried because, good God, if it is really bad, you need to have your energy, just those things. So it breaks my heart when I see people, and those are the people that let me know they're struggling or let me know they got problems in their life. I know that there are many of you guys that sit there silently and are suffering. And don't have an outlet to tell anybody. Don't want people knowing your business, especially some strangers on YouTube. And so I just want to tell you guys that I love you and it will be okay. And if you ever need anything, I'm only, a comment, an Instagram message, a tweet. Sometimes it takes me a little bit to get to it. But I just want to let you know that we care, not just me, the channel, the people here in the channel, we care. So if you guys would very much do me a solid and put some prayer hands up in the chat. And these prayer hands are for the people that we know are suffering and the ones that we don't. We're here for you too. We're praying for you too. We're praying for everybody. And I just wanted you guys to know, we're here and we're listening. And I just wish you guys the best. And this too shall pass. And, sometimes it's one of those things, life throws us curveballs and we have to learn to find a way to deal with it and things of that nature. So with that being said, this Monday morning, this week, I just want you to take this, and thank you, Vicki. Thank you all. Look at that. That's such a beautiful sea of prayers right there. This is for you guys. All those that are suffering here. This sea of prayers are for you, okay? So I just want you guys to know that, okay? Anyways, I just had to get on the tangent. Sonia popped in here. Thank you, May. And I know that there's everybody's got stuff going on. I got stuff going on. I've got personal things that I would never come over here and talk to you guys about and things like that. So in a sense that, there's times I suffer in silence too. So this is not just for you guys. This is for me too. This is for me too. And, but we want to start the day off. But the only job you guys have this week is I want you to understand there are people that suffer. And I want you to be a little kinder. This week, your only homework from the Bullhorn Betty channel is find a way to be kind. It's a simple request. It's a simple task. It literally costs you nothing. Nothing. And you know what the result of it is? You know what the payout of it is? You make the world a little better and a little brighter. And if we all, the 500, almost 600 people in this chat right now, did that, can you imagine the good that could come from something like that? The absolute good that can come from something like that. We watch evil. We watch horrible. We watch hate every single day. But you know what we can bring to the table? Love. Love and good. Because at the beginning of this segment, what did I say? The only thing that'll ever trump hate is good and love. And that's what we bring to the table. So getting on to this, there's a lot of information out there right now. And there's some major cases going on that we are not even paying attention to because the Idaho Four has taken on a life of its own. We are all plugged into the Idaho Four, so much so that we're totally losing perspective of other major things going on around the country that we need to be. We can walk and chew gum at the same time. Come on. We are some of the strongest women and men on the streets of YouTube. I am confident we can multitask. Confident. Absolutely confident. I believe in you. I believe in you. We all can multitask. So a couple of cases, and these have to do with little kids, okay? Little children that are not here, and we need to bring them home. One of them is Athena Brownfield. One of them is Madalina Cojocari. And we're getting updates on Oakley Carlson. Remember that name, right? We all forgot about that little girl, didn't we? I didn't. So we're going to touch on those three cases before we get into the meat and potatoes of this segment, because quite frankly, the only way I can get y'all's attention and put eyes on these cases is throwing it in with some of my Idaho Four stuff. So that's exactly what we're going to do this morning. We're going to take some time out and we're going to talk about just these cases. We're not going to spend a whole lot of time on them. Summer Wells too. I can't talk about Summer Wells just yet. There's a reason. I am going to be totally reviewing Summer Wells' case and all the information that I acquired back a year ago. And we all know that Summer Wells' case has kind of died down, fizzled out, if you will. Feels almost cold. So much so that I may end up, I've reached out to well, I might as well. You're going to collect the dots anyways. I've already reached out to TBI and Hawkins County and just said, look, there hasn't been an update on this case. I left a message, a voicemail. I said, there hasn't been an update on this case in some time. What's an update? I don't care. I don't care if you want it, because I'm planning on heading back to Tennessee in the near future. In a few weeks, I plan on heading back to Tennessee. And if I can if I can speak to law enforcement, I will. If I can speak to their public information officer, I will. If I can get a written statement from either TBI or Hawkins County, just giving us an update, or if they decide to go on their website and provide us an update, I'll accept that. But this idea that we can have Ronnie Lawson's son fiddling with kids while they hide that lawsuit, that criminal complaint from the public, by the way. And you know how I love police corruption. And then they give him a slap on the wrist after he did some unthinkable things at a church. And Summer Wells is going cold. Can you imagine? But in all fairness, I'm a respectable person. I respect people. I respect law enforcement. And I'm giving them an opportunity to provide me something. Because if they don't, I will be there. And if I got to bring the shit show with me, I will. I sure will. Excuse my language. Just doesn't sound right when you say crap show. I'm sorry. Sorry, little ears. It just doesn't sound right. But we all know that if I need to get attention to something, you know, I know the strategy in order to elicit that kind of response. Let's be honest. People want to, maybe Duty Ron may want to say it's jagaloonish behavior. Yeah, well, at the end of the day, Don, I hate to tell you this, but we make sure that attention's brought to cases. You have a good platform, no doubt, no doubt. But we rock the boat over here. And if that's jagaloonish behavior, I'm fucking guilty. Damn it. Sorry. I may have to step away for a couple days and try to get this cussing problem under control. It's just too easy. It just comes out too easy. It comes out too easy. Thank God I you know, I don't have fines when, like, I think TV, like normal mainstream TV, they get fines for saying horrible things, but I don't have a beep button here. I need a beep button. So every time I feel something coming out, we can just go beep, 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 right? But don't think that this is going away, and don't think, and like even the hate, like, I don't care. I don't care. If you come out there and counter, I don't care. It's more people. It's more bodies. It's more people tuning in. I don't care. I don't care. If we bring that S show to Hawkins County and I don't care. I don't care. But I do know that law enforcement needs to get off their butt, figure out what's going on, give us an update. What have you been doing for the last year? You begged us. You begged social media. Hawkins County, this is to you, and anybody from Hawkins County, send this over to your law enforcement. You begged us to get off your back, to take our feet off your neck. That's what you begged of us. I went out there and did a candlelight vigil so people can finally start having some closure so they can take that foot off your neck. That, me and two other, well, there was a lot of creators that came together for that, so I don't want to take, but we did that. And you know what? After that vigil, guess what happened? We took our foot off your neck and we said, okay, we're going to step back. This is what they say they need. They need us to step back. So we did. And where has it gotten us? Because I've always been the person that says the squeaky wheel gets the grease. So I'm ready to squeak the hell out of Hawkins County, Tennessee, and it is coming soon. It is coming soon. We will pool our resources together. We will go out there. This child is still missing. We haven't found her. You know, I went out there. I did what I did. We uncovered a lot of stuff. We brought a lot of stuff to light. And if this baby girl, if this is the best Hawkins County's got, if this is what we can expect from Hawkins County, letting kitty tiddlers, because they're the son of the sheriff, go, while we let a little girl that's gone go cold. That's not how Bullhorn Betty makes friends. I can tell you, I will not be your friend, Hawkins County. The only focus that I care about is making sure that that child gets found and the people responsible for whatever happened to her are brought to justice, and the swift gavel of justice is pounded on their head. That is the only thing I want to hear. I want to hear Hawkins County has made leaps and bounds in this case. TBI has made leaps and bounds in this case. Otherwise, what we did a year and a half ago, will feel like cakewalk. So with that being said, let's get over to this case. So we've got a lot of little things going on. You know, I want to go with Athena Brownfield first. She's a 4-year-old child that's missing out of Cereal, Oklahoma. This is just a weird case that nobody can kind of, like, we're kind of confused with this case. And here's what's going on. So what happened in this case is a 5-year-old child was walking down the road, begging for food, by the way. Begging for food. Thank you, Alyssa. God bless you. Thank you for the beautiful super sticker. I appreciate that. God bless you. Walking down the road, a postal carrier pulls over and this child's hungry, scared, and can't find her little sister. That's a lot for a little 5-year-old to deal with. I can't imagine the trauma that little 5-year-old went through. So the mail carrier actually walked this child back to her house and realized there was no adults in the home and calls law enforcement. God bless that postal worker. God bless that postal worker. And come to find out, not only were these 2 kids, there were 6 children in the house, only 1 remains, and nobody knows where anybody's at. This is not an effing animal. We don't get to just leave an animal. You know, you leave an animal in the house, you get animal services come in. You might get a ticket, you might not. This is a flippin' child. You don't just get to run off and leave. But there's something going on with this case that we can't wrap our head around, and here's what it is. The parents, the biological parents, where are they? Where are they? There's no court order for this family to even have custody of these kids or any paperwork in place. Say if these children got injured and needed to go to the hospital, how can you admit a child in the hospital when you're not a parent? How can you take these children to doctors when you have no authority to know their medical information? These are questions that I have. These are legal questions I have. And why are only 2 people in jail? Where are the parents, and why are they not behind bars? These children were left with family members. So I take it that Alicia and Ivan Adams are some family members. Well, here's the despicable crap about Alicia Adams. Not only did she push 4 of her own children out of her, you know what, she took on 2 other children, but hey, apparently she's got problems with the hubs. So what does this despicable woman do? She runs off with her boyfriend and leaves 6 children with this man, Ivan Adams. What does he do? Packs up his 4 kids, supposedly, and takes off. Thank you, Carla. God bless you. God bless you. Takes off to Phoenix, Arizona. I can tell you that this man has 4 kids of his own, 2 that are not his, a woman that has left him. They're obviously got some marital problems, not sleeping with each other, not doing these things. And you got a young girl that's not his in that home that's now missing. If you can imagine where my mind is going, yes, it is right there. It is right there. I think this man is a despicable, disgusting man. This child was not dead because she was beaten to death or it was an accident. There was something more that goes on there, period. And he took off. Now she's not found. And mind you, he took off to Arizona. Lots of ground to cover. Lots of ground to cover. From Oklahoma to Arizona. Lots of ground. I'm not very confident. I'm hoping, this is what I'm hoping, and it sounds really sick. I'm hoping they find her in the landfill. As crazy as that sounds, because at least they'll find her. If he took her with him on the road to dump her, I don't know if they'll find her. I really don't. And so that just, it breaks my heart. It's hard to hear, but he's heading back to Oklahoma. He's been charged with fugitive on the run. That's the warrant that they got in Arizona, and was able to, he's waiving his extradition hearing. He's coming back voluntarily. They have 30 days to pick him up. But I think there's more here. I think there's a lot more here. I think this is going to be something that is like that little girl that got picked up by the FedEx driver, kidnapped by the FedEx driver out in front of her yard. It's going to be something like that, I feel. I don't know why I feel it, but, it's just my first gut instinct. And And I have to trust that until I find information. Otherwise, I'm going to go off my instincts first. So I don't have a whole lot of information. Law enforcement is keeping this close to its chest. Law enforcement is telling us it's not a criminal investigation. I don't give a rat's patootie. I'm working on it, guys. Don't give a rat's patootie what this lead, police chief or whatever her name is, very sweet lady. I can tell she's very sweet. I don't care what she says. I've been doing this long enough. Yes, you are in a criminal investigation. You got a murder warrant out. Actually, with a murder warrant, it's not even a criminal investigation anymore. You have just upgraded that to a homicide investigation. So this idea of you're going to come out to the public and say, oh, we're not in a criminal investigation yet. Then why is there a warrant and a man in jail in Arizona and that warrant says first-degree murder? I'm sorry, we're not in a search phase. We're way past search phase at this point. Way past search phase. They don't believe this child is alive. I don't believe this child is alive. I came out. I didn't expect them to come out with that, release that first-degree murder charge, but I think it was 2 or 3 hours prior to them releasing that information. I went on my channel and said, I'm going to be bold enough to say, based upon the actions of law enforcement, because I follow their actions. I don't listen to their mouth. I listen to the where they are, what they're, because it's a very strategic process with law enforcement. They have this is a system that works. It's been working for them. It's not a perfect system, but you know that they do things in a specific pattern, and we know where they're at based upon the language that they're using and the pattern that they're taking. I knew that as soon as I saw that truck being pulled out for them, warrant for the truck to be impounded, I knew right then she's gone. Because I've watched this stuff long enough. You guys watch this stuff long enough. When they start pulling vehicles so they can do forensic on them, we know that the child's gone. Okay. It's not 100%, but I would say it's in the 90th percentile that she's met her demise. So that's where we're at with that case. And that's Athena Brownfield. And I'm just going to pull up a photo of her real quick. I have a whole bunch of stuff, but I'm not really ready to go over that just yet. But I want you guys to see this beautiful face. It is a beautiful face. She is adorable, and it breaks my heart. And there she is. See all those beautiful little pictures? They're the same. And there's her sister right there. And it's just sad. This is the little girl. Where is she? Oh, I must have hit it too much. And yes, that's the lady that decided to leave all these kids and run off with her boyfriend. What mother does that? What mother does that? It's mom that usually takes the kids. Even if your boyfriend wants you, he better want all of you. You don't get to run off and leave your own stinking kids and 2 additional kids that you're freaking responsible so you can go get some D. It doesn't work like that. That's a good way to find your ass in jail. Excuse my language. But that poor little girl, that poor little sister right there, scared half to death, walking down the stinking road, hungry, scared. She told the postal worker, they left me. They left me. They left me. What the ever-loving, Thank you, Myrtle. God bless you. But seriously, that baby. What is going on in this country? I digress. So there it is with Athena Brown. I wanted to make sure they're still looking for this little girl right here. This is Athena Brown. This is the lady. And wherever Ivan, I'm surprised Ivan's face is not literally plastered all over this. You see Alicia. You see Alicia, but you really don't see. There they are. So we got a couple of them in Grady County. There he is. Right there. Caregiver. I mean, this poor baby. And what I always tell you, you're always going to find out that there's violence, drugs, and alcohol. That is the secret sauce to be a despicable person and a despicable parent. That's the secret sauce. Drugs, alcohol, and violence. That is the secret sauce for these kids disappearing. Believe me. Believe me. So I just wanted you guys to have some awareness about Athena Brownfield's case. Brownfield, not Browns. It's Brownfield case. Beautiful little girl. You know, they're looking for her. I'm pretty sure they're not looking for her alive. So if anybody is out in the Oklahoma area, you guys need to be looking for boxes. You guys need to be looking for things that have been thrown away, suitcases, duffel bags, boxes, anything that can fit a baby in, right? A 4-year-old baby. No different than being folded up like a laptop, like the Summer Wells case. When they said they made that statement, that tells me they weren't looking for her alive. And we were all so naive to think, Hawkins County was trying to look for her alive. No, they had been looking for Summer's body for long before the light bulb went off on all of our heads, right? So I just wanted to bring her case up to you guys. It's a very important case. Again, she's just a 4-year-old baby. She's missing. We need to find her and bring her home so she can rest in peace. And right now, we don't know where she's at. And I doubt that these despicable people are going to tell us. But I do believe that man did something very, very, very disgusting, very bad to this little girl. And there are reasons why I came up with that thought. It wasn't because I'm just some sick, twisted person. It's because I can apply reality. The bottom line is he ain't getting none from his wife. His wife's out bopping somebody else. He's stuck with all these kids. It's not like he can go out on a date. Something happened in that home and he fled. And that's right where my mind went with this case. And it just breaks my heart because, this is a man that fed her and it just, I don't even want to think like that, but I'm sorry, I can't. And I'm not going to lie to you guys and say that, oh, he probably just physically abused her. No, I think he did something so much worse. And I can't shake it. I can't shake it. There's also another case that is in North Carolina that many of you guys may know. It is in Cornelius, which is about 20 miles north of Charlotte, North Carolina. And this 11-year-old has been missing, was missing for over a month, close to a month, before her parents told police that she was missing. Oh, thank you, Kimberly. God bless you. God bless you. And her name is Madalina Cojocari, if I'm pronouncing her name correctly. Her mother is about 37 years old. Her name is Diana Cojocari. And she met a man that is like 22 or 23 years her senior. And his name is Chris. I said it was Palmatier. It's Palmatier, I think is the last name, not Palmatier, Palmatier. Something to that effect. I might be butchering it, but he is a much, much older man dating a much, much younger woman that has a young daughter, and that daughter is missing. So naturally, we all kind of go there. I'm waiting for evidence. I don't know where, but with her being 11 years old and looking at this guy and seeing how big, I can see where it's possible that there was abuse in the home and that abuse contributed to her death, as opposed to like the SA allegations, which I believe happened in the Athena Brownfield case. Could that have happened? It's possible, but my vibe's just not 100% on that. My vibe is more, there was abuse in this home. This man looks like an authoritarian type of figure. You don't talk back to him type of thing. And I can see where he could have lost his cool and harmed her being 11 years old. Sometimes 11 years old pops off at the mouth, right? You're not my daddy. Don't tell me what to do. Many of you blended families have to deal with that from your spouse's children. It's uncomfortable. It's not nice. It's not fair. It makes us feel crummy as parents. But that's part of the blended part. You find a way to make it work. Sometimes, especially if it's an abusive household, she will never adjust. She will always be popping off at the mouth because she's unhappy, because there's unhappiness in her household. Yeah. Yes, that's right, Janet. She went missing No, actually, that we know that the last time she was seen at school. That's what we know. My problem is I am utterly surprised that. Oops, I just put that down. I'm utterly surprised that it took them almost 3 weeks to let the school know that she was missing. I'm surprised the school and the resource officer wasn't up their butt saying, hey, your child is missing a lot of school. Why didn't the principal call the family and say, hey, what is going on with Madalina? Madalina, excuse me, Madalina. I keep saying Madalina. Madalina. What is going on with Madalina? Where is she? At what point, how many contacts from the school went out to that family? And if that family didn't respond, why didn't they do a welfare check a lot earlier? Lots of questions I have with this case. Lots of questions. I did a small video. Actually, I'll go ahead and pull that up because I know not everybody got to see it. I'm going to pull up a couple of videos because we're talking about Madalina and we're talking about Athena. So let me go to my channel. We'll pull up both of those so you guys can get kind of caught up with what these cases are about. So I've got both of them here. Let me pull this up. Let me take that banner off. We'll go with this one. Do I want to? How many minutes are all these? I'll do this one first. Is it not? I can't stand this. Hold on. Let me see if I can. Let me pull this down. If you guys can't hear it, that means that StreamYard is. I'm literally ready to cancel with StreamYard because I can't. I like doing things the way I do it, and I've done things like that from the very beginning, and it's really starting to tick me off. Let's start it over. Sorry, guys. We had it fixed, and now they've done something else to it. I don't know. So just bear with me. Thank you, Just a Girl.
The Bureau says Athena Brownfield and her 5-year-old sister were in the care of Adams and her husband, who has not been named yet.
Well, hello, YouTube. As promised, I am covering the Athena Brownfield case. And this is a 4-year-old that has disappeared from her home. I believe it was a Tuesday, January 10th was when the postal carrier around 2 p.m. called law enforcement because a 5-year-old was walking down the road. And when he was asking her information, she was looking for her 4-year-old sister, which is nowhere to be found.
This all started Tuesday afternoon when a postal carrier found Athena's sister wandering out of her house on West Nebraska Avenue, but Athena was just nowhere to be found. Since then, there's been a massive search effort with no results.
That postal carrier called law enforcement immediately, which had a chain reaction. Since then, Athena has not been found. They are searching everything they can possibly search for her. A lot of volunteers came in to help. They were very thankful and fortunate for the volunteers that came and helped them. And the crazy thing is they stopped and asked volunteers to stop working. They have told the public that they had to have them stop working because they're now looking for clues. As of last night, the Suburban at the home has been removed.
Adams was booked on 2 counts of child neglect as the search for 4-year-old Athena continues. Now, we asked DHS if they're involved in the case in any way, and we were told no comment by OSBI. Bureau says Athena Brownfield and her 5-year-old sister were in the care of Adams and her husband, who has not been named yet. Adams was booked on 2 counts of child neglect as the search for 4-year-old Athena continues. This is the home of Athena's caregiver at the time of her disappearance. Now, I want to walk you through how we got to this point in the investigation and the new details we learned today. OSBI says 31-year-old Alicia Adams was taken into custody at the Grady County Sheriff's Office and then later booked into the Caddo County Jail after 4 o'clock this afternoon.
Nothing has changed, despite what's being said out there. We're looking for her.
This is the spokesperson, Brooke. I keep calling her the sheriff or the police person, but she's actually the spokesperson. I just saw the thing. This is the lady that I'm talking about. She's super nice, but I can see right through her. I mean, you know, she's so nice. She's almost transparent. So, but you know, they're doing their best that they can, and we just want to uplift this community and uplift them. So anybody with any information, please go out there. Don't forget to check this video out. This starts right there at the top here. A 4-year-old is Athena Brownfield, unofficially deceased, ? I went so bold as to say, this is the video that I said that I'm going to go ahead and say it. I know I'm going to turn my haters on their head, but she's presumed dead. And literally 2 hours after that video dropped, the charges against Ivan were released, and those charges included a first-degree murder charge. So if you guys would like to watch that, please go and look at it. I think it's like the second video that you guys can see. And then we're going to get over to Madalina. I got to get that name right. I hate butchering names. Back. And then here is Madalina. Let me put this up here. And we're just going to take a few moments and just listen to this one as well. Hold on. Let me put it up here because, good Lord, wouldn't want StreamYard to tell me what I can and can't do. I don't like being told what to do. Hey guys, so I know there are some creators that are covering the Madalina Cojocari case. If I'm pronouncing her name right, I do apologize if I butchered it. But this is an interesting case. You know, we've been talking about the situation in Oklahoma, Cyril, Oklahoma, with a 4-year-old, Athena Brownfield, and how the phones were the evidence being used, at least. Yeah, I know. That's what I said. I and actually went in a dissertation, Pam, that yes, I was surprised that, but see, the parents reported, or maybe it was these parents. I was talking about the 11-year. These parents reported, I wasn't talking about for Madalina. These parents actually reported her kid to the school, not to law enforcement, to school. The school called law enforcement, but the parents actually notified the school 3 weeks some later that their child was missing. That's why the parents were charged with failing to report a missing child. So just listen, it's all clarified in this video. At least in the paperwork that we were getting back, used to charge Ivan Adams with the first-degree murder count. And so I thought this was interesting. Many of my subscribers are sending me stuff on this case, so I know you guys are wanting to hear some more information. So here is an article from CNN related to investigators confiscating cell phones and other items from the home of the missing 11-year-old girl warrant show. Many of you guys know that the parents had already been arrested for failing to report their child missing. And this is not looking good at all. We know when these types of things start happening, the outcome of that child turns very grim and grim very quickly. So authorities investigating the disappearance of 11-year-old Madalina Cojocari have confiscated 3 cell phones from her family home in North Carolina. Search warrants obtained Tuesday by CNN affiliate WCCB show. Officers searched the family's home in Cornelius. Now, Cornelius, I'm not sure if you guys know where it's at. It's really close to Charlotte. I explained this, and then right down here, if I would have just read it's right here when I'm talking, the information was right here, and I'm going off memory, so please forgive that. Charlotte, North Carolina. I think it's like maybe 28 miles away, maybe less. I'm not sure. Don't hold my feet to the fire for that, but it's very close to Charlotte, North Carolina. So the officers searched the family's home in Cornelius in December and seized more than 24 items, including phones, the warrant revealed. Other items taken in the search warrant were redacted from an inventory document. The newly unsealed warrants, that's plural, were made public weeks after Madalina's mother, Diana Cojocari, and stepfather, Christopher Palmatier, were arrested and charged with failing to report her missing to law enforcement. Madalina was seen on November 21st at Bailey Middle School. And it was 23rd. I misread. Oh, that is in Cornelius. Here it is. It's 20 miles north of Charlotte. Her mother said this is the spot where I was getting my information. Saw her child at home on November 23rd. The parents reported her missing to school resource officer at her school on December 15th. So parents never called law enforcement. They only notified the school weeks later. And again, it comes back to me saying, why in the world was the school not up their craw saying, hey, where's your kid? You know, her reporting this child December 15th. What has she been reporting to the school? Or has the school just failed to contact her to let her know her child's not been attending school? Back in my day, they had phone calls. Nowadays, they have all this computer stuff. So why did it take 3 weeks in the school? I'm curious about the school. Maybe they did do stuff, and maybe they did end up saying, hey, if you don't call us, we're calling the law. And maybe mom called in and said, look, my kid's missing. I don't know where she's at. We've been trying to find her. She's been gone for 3 weeks. We don't know what that conversation sounded like. We don't know. We just know it wasn't the parents that called the law on this child. And you're talking about 3 weeks to dispose, to clean up, to get rid of evidence, all of this stuff. And it's unnerving to me. You know, we have to rely on these schools. Hopefully they did everything they can. I don't want to come down on the school just yet until I have more information, but I hope that they were doing stuff behind the scenes, trying to find where Madalina was, or reaching out to the parents, or doing something before law enforcement or before the parent actually calls to the school. You know, I don't know of any child that can just take a hiatus from school for 3 weeks without getting a call from the school. So what in the world happened? But again, I don't know. They did everything by the book and above board, but again, we don't know. We don't know. Oh Lord, that time, what is it? That time Miss Betty called my mama. Almost, not quite a month, but damn near 3 weeks later, Madalina was last seen wearing jeans, pink and purple and white Adidas shoes, and a white t-shirt and jacket, authorities said. FBI described her as 4 feet 10 inches tall and weighing 90 pounds. A photo released to the public shows a smiling girl wearing, smiling girl wearing a t-shirt. I can change the world with love. Diana Cojocari, 37, and Palmatier, 60. Wow, what an age difference there. We watched most of that, so if you guys want to get more information on that, please go over to the other side, and you guys can watch that video yourself. But you know, these are 2 girls that that have disappeared, and nobody knows where they are. And of course, parents are not. I don't know if they're cooperating, not cooperating. I don't know. I can just tell you that there's something ain't right here with these victims. And I'm going to call them victims because I truly believe both of them are. I actually was about to do a video yesterday, and I did do a video, actually, as a matter of fact. I did a video, I just never uploaded it. And it was related to Oakley Carlson. Now, somebody was just in here asking, what about the new docs? I will get to those new docs here in just a little bit. I'm using my platform to advocate for children. And if I've got to do that with an Idaho Four thumbnail, I will. And we do have court documents, that newly released court documents, that we will be going over after I get through my kids. So if you want to be patient, you're more than welcome to stay. If you don't, leave. Leave. It's that simple. But this is interesting with Oakley Carlson. So many of you guys know that Oakley, if you guys have been following the case, she disappeared in 2021. She was actually in the care of a wonderful, loving, actually, let me just pop this before we get to that, a wonderful, loving foster care family that loved her, that took her as one of their children, and were completely and utterly heartbroken when the courts ordered them to return Oakley back to her parents. Completely heartbroken, destroyed. They were nervous. They were terrified. They had Oakley since, I believe, she was like 6 months or 9 months. Something really, they watched her grow up. They watched her take her first steps to foster family. And I've seen them on interviews, and it's something short of heartbreaking. And literally, I don't even think this child lasted a month before she disappeared. And nobody really knew that I think this is another one that nobody really knew that she disappeared until somebody just didn't hear or see from her. I don't know. I don't know how the whole revelation that she was missing. They haven't found this child, but both the mom and the dad were put in jail. They were put in jail for child endangerment, child neglect, charges like that. And the male half got 14 months. The female half got 20 months or something like that. And the reason why the female half got more time is because she has a record, a significant record, whereas the male half did not, had no charges prior to child endangerment and neglect or whatever they charged them with. But here's the kicker. She was getting out of jail. Biological mom of Oakley Carlson was done with her 20-month sentence for her child abuse. Was packing up, thinking, I got it, walking out the jailhouse door. You know what the law enforcement says? I want to keep you a little longer. And slaps her with 3 different charges of identity theft. So I wanted you guys to hear this because Mama, as soon as she was released, she just got shackled and drugged back to that jail. And now she's being charged. This is law enforcement strategically doing what they can to keep a monster behind bars because they can't prove their case just yet on what those parents did. But they are making those steps. And you know what they're doing? They're using that low-hanging fruit to do it. And we talk about the low-hanging fruit on here, something Jeff Hadley, No Charge Hadley from Chatham County, could learn from. Let's see here. Is this the one? Oh, by the way, they're not cooperating. She has a reward of $85,000 for any information leading to the people responsible for her. Give me just a second. I'm going to find that article that I did. I may have to just pull up my, yep, there it is. Found it. Oh, hold on. This is ridiculous. I should be able to set this stuff and forget it. And I can't even do that because of the way StreamYard has screwed up their entire system. Irritating. So here she is. We're going to hear an ad.
We have learned New tonight that the mother of missing 5-year-old Oakley Carlson has been arrested shortly after being released from prison just today. Jordan Bowers was arrested for identity theft and fraud this morning. According to the Gray Harbor Sheriff's Office, Bowers had just finished serving her sentence for endangering allegedly 2 of her children with drugs. Bowers now back behind bars at Grays Harbor County Jail after police received, they say, multiple complaints from victims who allegedly experienced fraudulent banking activity. After investigating, officials say Bowers was identified as a primary suspect. Her daughter Oakley was last seen in February of 2021. Investigators say both of Oakley's parents have not been cooperating with the investigation.
So there you have it, guys. Not cooperating with the investigation. Law enforcement, kudos to you. Keep the pressure on. I hope this, this case, we know who's responsible. We just need to prove it. That's what it is with Oakley Carlson. So guys, there you go. There's my avocation for our young little babies. That are making news right now. Now, granted, there are so many more children that we just don't even have the time to be able to cover. There's so many. And that's why it is very, very important that we all get on board and start advocating. We have to start advocating for that centralized database for our kids. We have to do it. I haven't done the form letter yet. I know I promised you like 2 weeks ago that I would have it out. I'm not ready for it yet. I'm just planting the seed right now. We're planting the seed. I need to get with the people that are going to help me and figure out how we can distribute this so it can go around the country and you guys can actually have that information and start reaching out those that are willing to start, sending letters to your local politicians, sending letters to your state and federal politicians for this. And we're going to explain why. This is going to be a letter that's going to be very professionally written. It's going to identify several cases of notable points that they can actually look at and see that this is necessary in these cases. Here's why. And that is what we're going to be working on. I can't do it right this moment because I don't want to send out a whole bunch of letters and then realize I forgot to include a very important part and have to redo the exercise again. So once I get with my people here in Florida and figure out, what it would take, because I know we're going to get pushback on this database from our government because you're talking about a lot of time and a lot of money that needs to go into a system in which I'm talking about. But it's a system that once it's done, it's done, and it will continue to work and help the little children and social workers across this country to do a better job and to be safer at their job. It is a win-win, literally, for everyone except despicable parents. Except despicable parents. So anybody that's fighting something like this, we know why. Because they're despicable. Listening somewhere where the school called wanting to know where she was and wanted to physically see her. The parents agreed they bring her, but never did. That's when the cops were notified. Yeah. But I looked into this guy. I looked into the that Christopher. He's got some explaining to do. As a matter of fact, before we get on to the Idaho Four and the documents and stuff like that, let me bring this up. Let me bring this back up for you guys because I did more research that we haven't even touched yet. I'm not going to have any more audio, so I can just put the screen on here. Yeah, it doesn't even give me an audio button on the screen. I'm calling customer service. Let's see here. Yeah, so. And then the truth finder, that's for mom. And this is for the husband. Right here. This is for the husband. So I'm looking into his background and his addresses. This is him. And I looked at it. This is a nice photo of him. The arrest photo of him, he looks like an evil man. He looks like a freaking evil, authoritarian man. He has a grimace on his face. There's something with this man. And I just feel like this man here is an abusive man. He gives me the vibes of a domestic abuser, somebody that abuses his wife and somebody that abused his stepdaughter. Not necessarily SA abuse, but definitely physical, authoritarian type of abuse. And a man of his size can cause great bodily injury to a young, thin, 90-pound, 4 foot tall, 4 foot 10 inches tall little girl. He can do some damage. If he goes into a rage, he can injure and hurt her very, very bad. I don't know why I'm not leaning on mom as hard as I'm leaning on him. And I may have this all backwards. Mom might be the crazy one, and he might have been like the savior type of figure. But I'm telling you, the vibe I'm getting off this man is not. So I have been looking into this. I'm doing some due diligence on this particular family. I'm just not quite ready to really provide those details just yet. So getting on with the Idaho Four. Where is my? No, don't want that. There we go. So just let me get back to my screen. So just that you guys know, we do have some court documents here. A lot of them have not been seen by the public yet. These have been redacted, but they have been provided to us. And one is the criminal complaint itself. Let me pull these up. Oh, it's not letting me because of the way I got this. Hold on a second. One is the criminal complaint. Latah Prosecutor's Office, criminal complaint, the undersigned based upon the affidavit of Brett Payne, which we read, says that Brian C. Kohberger complains and says that Brian C. Kohberger in the county of Latah, state of Idaho, on or about November 13th, did then and there commit crimes against people of the state of Idaho. And it lists all of his charges: murder in the first degree. Well, he got burglary, murder in the first degree, felony count 2, murder in the first degree, felony count 3, murder in the first degree, felony count 4, and murder in the first degree for felony in count 5. So this is just the redacted version. And here it goes through what he's actually being charged with. So 1 count of burglary, that the defendant, Brian C. Kohberger, on or about November 13th in Latah County, state of Idaho, did unlawfully enter the residence located at 1122 King Road, Mascow, with the intent to commit the felony of murder. So they're basically stating that he actually went into the residence for the purposes of committing this murder, which we all are aware of at this moment in time. The only reason why I'm bringing these documents up is because I know these documents are being passed around YouTube, but I don't think anybody has actually went through all the documents with you. There may be a creator that has, but I have not. So we are bringing this to you guys on the Bullhorn Betty channel for all my audience that has not been apprised of the information, so they can get the information. They have locked the docket down. We're not getting any of the additional stuff than what was provided to us at the beginning of the case. The rest of the documents will be released on March 1st. Before we go any further, I'm just going to go through here and see if I can read some comments to answer for you. I wonder if stepdad abused that child. That's a big age difference. Maybe he was very controlling over the mom and daughter. Mary, that's exactly what I think is happening. Because quite frankly, with this whole 4-year-old, I get a different vibe than I get from the 11-year-old case, if that makes sense. When I'm reading this case, when I read these cases and I start looking into, my brain is working. So it starts popping in information. And, I'm like, well, what makes sense here? What doesn't? And then I look at everything. I look at, the photos of them. I try to go into social media, get an idea of their personality, what type of person they are, what kind of person they're trying to show the world. Because let's be honest, who you are online and who you are behind closed doors are two totally different people. Many people want to say that's not true. It absolutely is true. Absolutely. I guarantee many of you guys go on Facebook when you're having one crummy day and you act like nothing is going on and that your day and your life is picture perfect. So that's what I'm talking about. People online do not ever know what's going on unless the people online that you're associated with live in your home. So people can put up facades. A person could be the best employee in the world, nicest, most caring, most helpful, and then go home and abuse his family and be nasty to them and call them names and break them down. Sometimes, and I have to be honest with you, I have been not only physically abused in my life, I've been mentally and emotionally abused in my life. And I can tell you that the mental and emotional abuse is far more damaging than the physical. I'd rather get beat every single day than have the stuff in my head 24/7. If that makes sense. That emotional and mental abuse is so hard because it literally destroys every fabric of your being. Whereas abuse, it's painful, it's scary, but it's not 24/7. When it's in your head, you can't shake it. It doesn't go nowhere. It just manifests. Count one. So defendant Brian Kohberger, on or about November 13th in Latah, state of Idaho, did willfully and unlawfully, deliberately, with premeditation and with malice, aforethought, kill and murder Madison Mogan, a human being, by stabbing. I am curious, and just bear with me. Is there a reason for the order of the charges? Why was Maddie listed as one as opposed to Xana or Ethan or Kaylee for that matter? Could this give us a clue that maybe Madison was the actual target? I am unsure, but I do believe in strategy. When we did this, we always put our strongest argument first. So whenever you're doing a complaint or you're even responding to a complaint, your strongest argument should be your first argument, not your last argument. So with that being said, and knowing this process, because I've prepared complaints, I've prepared answers, I've prepared motions to dismiss, I've prepared them. So my thing is why is her name the first one listed on here? Is that because she may have been the target? We all thought that the two upstairs girls, one or both, were target. We also knew that Madison was the only one that was really residing in that house between the two of them. Kaylee had already graduated and had already sold her bed and was already living back at home with mom and dad. She just happened to be there that weekend because she bought the new Range Rover. They had a lot of little frat and sorority parties going on. And she wanted to come back, and they ended up having a really enjoyable weekend until this point, the early morning hours of November 13th. So I'm curious about that. Is Madison Mogan the target? Count three. Brian C. Kohberger, November 13th in Latah County, willfully and unlawfully, deliberately, with premeditation and with malice, aforethought, kill and murder Kaylee Gonzalez, a human being, by stabbing, from which she died. I believe that those two girls, I believe it may have been, maybe the reason why he hit both of those is the only connection we have is he's vegan. They were at Mad Greek, and the two rooms that hit just happened to be the two people that work at that restaurant. Does it mean it there's a lot of, correlation, but does it mean that? No, it doesn't, but it could. Parents could have the school a COVID excuse, which would have given them at least 14 days. Interesting. At some schools. You can't pull that down here in Florida. What does it say? The sibling of Oakley Carlson have said that they believe the little girl was eaten by wolves and claim that their mother told them to keep the story quiet, as previously reported by The Sun. That is just sick. She probably also threatened to throw them to the wolves if they didn't keep their mouths shut. People like that, you know, you guys see me. Whenever, like even Leilani, whenever I saw that woman's face, you know, I have control over what I do. You know, some people don't. They let their anger and frustration. I mean, I'll scream at somebody, I'll text somebody and cuss somebody up, down, one. But as far as physically touching somebody or causing violence to somebody, I will not do. And I got to tell you, it takes a lot of strength, lots of strength, to keep my hands to myself in some of these cases. I'm glad I have the strength now. If this was 10 or 15 years ago, Leilani, I would have pounded her ass in that ground and would not even have thought twice about it. I would have did my time. I would have taken my licking and kept on ticking. Nowadays, it's a little different. You know, I'm older. I'm more wise. You know, I realize that I can get these people in different ways. But sometimes looking at people's face and knowing what they did to their child, it is hard at times to have the strength to keep my hands off of them. I have to be honest. It's kind of like the cops. You cannot tell me that those women that were walking Leilani out of that court hearing that day weren't mumbling under their breath, if I just didn't have this badge on, right? Right? I mean, it's talk. It's talk without action, but we are all thinking about it. And I remember being out there in front of her house and looking at her in my eyes, and it just had that little strip with that rope on it. And I'm thinking, man, if I jumped this rope, I would snatch that girl up by the hair. I would drag her out in that street and give her a piece of Andra, not Bullhorn Betty. I'd give her a piece of me. I sure would. It took everything I could. And if all I can do is get in her brain, that's what I did. And I guarantee I did. I looked her right in the eyes and I said, how does it make you feel knowing what you did? You know, I know what you did to that little boy. You threw him in there and he literally has, and I said it, guys, if you guys have, go ahead and mute this. If you guys have a weak stomach, hit the mute button now. But I looked right at her and I said, for your 20-month-old to have maggots on him, he's a bag of bones, Leilani. They're looking for a bag of bones. You had a whole son and they're looking for pieces of him. And she just looked at me. I'm telling you, if I would have said that to Brandy Neal, she would have been bawling. Leilani, stone cold heart. She has ice in her veins. And it didn't even move her. It didn't make her break down. It didn't make her cry. Even her mother had to say, that piece of garbage, drug addict mother, Billy Joe, BJ, that gives a lot of BJs, had to tell her, say justice for Quentin. If she didn't tell Leilani, say justice for Quentin, Leilani wouldn't even have said it. Sick. Buffalo Mountain Girl, still unknown where Oakley is. A mystery remains over the disappearance of Oakley, and her adopted mother, Janie Jo Hiles, has been campaigning for answers since she went missing. Yes. Buffalo Mountain, Tennessee girl, yes. And not only that, but that lady is truly heartbroken. Her foster family is devastated. Devastated. We need more foster parents like that in this world. That is for darn sure. So anyways, guys, I mean, this is kind of, big. And then they go on, who was the next person? What do you think for? I would be surprised. I bet you it's Xana. The last one listed is Ethan. And I don't think they did that because, out of respect, women's name go first, men. You know what I'm saying? I think that they put those in order specifically, and we're going to find out why in the near future as to why they listed those people in the order that they listed them in. People don't think that that is crucial in these complaints. I'm telling you it is. Any law enforcement or any lawyer or anybody that has a legal education will tell you that that is the truth. You put your strongest argument up front and everything else further down. So I think the intended parties were Maddie and Kaylee. I think that they were the ones, based upon this complaint. I'm kind of speculating, but I believe that everything we've been hearing, they were the ones that died first. BHB already stated she cannot have children, so no joke. What's TJ saying? Yeah, no, I can't. I tried for years. Married 10 years, we tried. What are you talking about? Obviously, I know she's not pregnant. You're getting personal. It's YouTube. It's a chat. I don't know what's going on. Everybody be respectful. And Karen Davis is one of my mods. So she does have the ability to spank you if she needs to. So you might want to be nice to her. I'm just saying. Right? For those that are rude, I know we get a lot of new people here, so I just want to tell you guys the rules of this channel. The rules of this channel are very simple. You can have your opinion. You can have an opposing viewpoint. You can have a mimicking viewpoint. You can have something in between. Okay? Don't get heated in the chat. Don't start calling people names because you guys have different viewpoints. These cases are going on. We really have nothing. We're all speculating here. Nobody has the right answer or the wrong answer here. We get a lot of the answers right on this channel, but you know what? We're not perfect, right? So we respect one another in the chat. You don't have to agree, but you guys it makes for great debate. Let's keep it as a debate and not personal attacks. This is my house. You guys are welcomed into my house as guests. Okay? So that means you're not going to be disrespectful to me. You're not going to be disrespectful to any of my guests. And you're not going to be disrespectful to the people I associate with or bring on my panel to talk to. If you do that, that's a good way to get yourself blocked off this channel. All that is requested is that you act like an adult and be respectful as if you were at work, because a lot of the stuff that you guys do in this chat, you would never do in public. So if you're not willing to do it in public, don't do it on my chat. This is my house. You guys are welcomed in as guests, and I expect you to follow the rules. If we can do all that, we will have a great time. We will enjoy debating these cases and doing those things. But we love opposing viewpoints. I don't want people that parrot me. I don't want it. If everybody parroted what I had to say, we wouldn't have any kind of conversation on this. We wouldn't be able to speculate. We wouldn't be able to open our minds to other thought processes and things of that nature. So let's give each other a break and realize we are all wonderfully unique. Our brains process things differently than everybody else. And we're not all the same people. I don't want Pam being Bullhorn. Pam doesn't want me being Pam. She's unique. I'm unique. Becca, you're unique. Nani, you're unique. Mountain Baby, you're unique. Right? We're all unique. We're not going to ever. And we have literally thousands of people in chat at times. We got almost over 800 people in chat right now. If you honestly think 800 personalities are going to just have a kumbaya moment, come on. Got 800 personalities in here. There's got to be some kind of contrast of perspective. So let's just be kind. Let's be kind to one another. Let's be nice. And guys, the personal information I provide to you is personal information I choose to provide you. I do not like people asking me about my personal life. I do not like people being in my personal life. This is, I love my channel and I love this, but I do have a life outside of this. This is my job. Okay. When you guys, clock out of your job, you like going home and relaxing and having a life outside of work. Just because I'm a content creator doesn't mean I shouldn't be afforded the same. So let's just make sure we're all respectful. If there's something that you would be highly offended if asked of you, don't ask that of me. All right? And there's the rules. Not bad at all, huh? Right? Not bad at all. We don't like the drama over here. We don't like talking about other creators. They sure like talking about me, but hey, that's okay. I mean, I am a popular gal, right? They're trying to act like I don't rule the streets of YouTube, but yet they show I rule the streets of YouTube, and they can't stand it. Not my problem. Not my problem. When I can literally go on a channel, spend 5 minutes of my time on that channel, and make the entire world of YouTube flip upside down and talk about me nonstop for 48 hours, that's some power. Whether you want to acknowledge it or not, that's powerful. Yeah, guys, we got 800 and some people in here. Make sure that you are hitting that like button. I'd like to make sure that you guys are hitting that like button. I work very hard for you, and I'm just to the point. And you know what? At the end of the day, I say a lot of the things that you guys are thinking, and a lot of things that everybody's thinking that just doesn't have the kahunas to say sometimes, right? You rude to me, I'll throw that crap right back at you. You nice to me? I'm sweet as pie. You want to step on my toes, baby? I got big shoes. I've been there, married to a man 16 years older, and my kids were all under the age of 8. He abused everyone in the house. My kids and I suffered for years, and I still have guilt over it. Becca, well, you know what? Let me take some of that guilt from you. You got out. You got out. Okay? You don't have to be guilty. You don't ever have to feel guilty because you got out. People don't understand abusive homes are very, very, it's horrible. And it's hard because they strip you of everything, not just your dignity, but your finances, everything. It makes it very difficult. They lock you down and make you helpless and hopeless. I get it, Becca. I get it. But don't ever feel guilty. Ever. Because you're out. Your children are out. You learned a valuable life lesson, and you're all safe. Life has a lot of twists and turns. You know, it's all about the survival of life and trying to thrive. And if you're out, I doubt that you're not thriving at this moment. Even if you're not financially thriving, you're thriving. You're thriving. And I guarantee you're probably a hell of a lot happier. Let's see here. And then we're going to go over to another document. The burglary charge was added, y'all, to protect DM from even having to testify. I've been searching the burglary charges almost good as our shield law. I have to look in that, Just a Girl. I have to look in that. I never even looked at that. The order could be arbitrary. Thank you, Amy, for that contribution. Also, they name her as DM. They don't even need her name to testify, really. If DM was the target, she doesn't even have to testify. Another eyewitness could come forward. There's not a whole lot of eyewitnesses, and I can guarantee DM will be required to testify in a court of law. She was in the house at the time. No matter, even if the prosecution says we don't need her, believe me, the defense is going to try to cross-examine her and try to break that woman on the stand after everything she's already been through. So DM and you know, BF, they're in court. They're not going to get away. That is a witness that the defense has a right to question. They are not getting out of this case. That if you no. Mm-mm. So sorry for the ladies who had her jaw and nose broke. It must have been awful, so awful, can't imagine. Yes, we are saying our prayers, and that actually was part of my intro coming into the show because, you know, we do have a lot of people that are suffering here that have a lot of stuff going on in their life, and we just want to make sure everybody knows that we love and care for them, and we want them. We were praying. If you go back, you'll see a sea of prayer hands, and that's for all the people in here suffering and struggling today, whether they're suffering in silence or they're a little more vocal. So, Andra, research the felony burglar charge for Idaho. If another eyewitness comes forward, they don't need Dylan to testify. Yeah, the problem is that there is no other eyewitness in that home. She's it. She's it. I mean, even Bethany's statement barely made a sentence in the Brett Payne affidavit. She is the only eyewitness inside that home. She is going to have to testify. I'm telling you, the defense will force her to testify, even if the prosecution doesn't want her on the stand. She is going on that stand because at the end of the day, they need reasonable doubt. And the only other person that survived that second floor was Dylan. So they are going to need her. The way that it reads, I get it, but there is no other witness inside that home. Now, granted, it could be a witness outside, but there is no other person that saw what she saw in that particular moment inside that home. Nobody's going to be able to provide that testimony because Bethany was not up there when this happened. Only Dylan. She's the only one. She's the lone witness on that second floor. She's the lone one. There's nobody else. Sorry, guys. I'm just looking here. Okay. Something ain't right in FBI record on Duncan in Montana with growing victim. I haven't even began to look at that yet. Let's see if we have any other questions I can answer. Alabama mama of 4. The people saying the lawyer he's got is going to get him off because she's so good. She got a case retried and not thrown out. The guy still was found guilty and given more time than the first trial. I no matter how good an attorney is, I've worked for many attorneys. I've worked for a lot of great attorneys, and I've worked for some that weren't so great. I worked for a man that ended up being a federal judge. I believe he's retired now. And I can tell you that no lawyer, like we have Mark, he's deceased now, the late Mark Lipinski, which was here in our county. He was a tough defense attorney, and he had the price tag to prove it, right? He was the big cheese in this town. If you were in a criminal quagmire, you called Mark Lipinski. That's who you went to. That was your go-to. If you could afford him, that's your go-to man for criminal cases. And he fought for you, but I'm telling you, he's not that good to be able to say she's so good I can get him off. No, there is strategic strategy that defense can use, and some of it's technical. That means that processes were not followed, and because the processes were not followed, evidence gets thrown out. I mean, there is a whittling away of what they've done and how they've prepared it. But she may be good, but when you have a defendant that's guilty, that's left evidence, it's kind of hard. You can defend him all you want, but at the end of the day, I can tell that they did a very, very good job in building this case. The case and stuff is not over with yet. You know, we even heard from law enforcement tell the judge that they have at least a couple more months of their investigation before their investigation is concluded. So, we're not quite there yet. But I don't ever think anybody, when you start getting so pompous that you think you were so good that you can get people off, that's your biggest problem right there. I don't think she said that. A lot of people may be saying that. She seems like a very educated and well-rounded attorney. And so that's a good thing because they can't argue that he did not get the proper defense that he is required under the law. We want a tough attorney for him. But even tough attorneys, they can't dispute, they can't lie. She's not going to risk her license for this Yahoo called Brian C. Kohberger. So we definitely have at least that. Maybe we may not have a whole lot, but that at least we have. Let me pull this back up. So that's the criminal complaint. This is non-dissemination order. We got a copy of the non-dissemination order so we can actually review this order and see what it says. It's basically stating this order is specifically prohibiting any statements. We already went over this once before on this channel, so let me move on to the other one. That looks like we have a stipulation too. Let's see what this is. So this is I think this is what got them the order in the first place. Let me just put this back here. Come now, Brian C. Kohberger. So this is the defense motion. The defense motion. This is because when you see right here where it says "Come now, Brian C. Kohberger," the defendant. This is their motion. Otherwise, it would say something related to the plaintiff. So come now, Brian C. Kohberger, by and through his undersigned attorney, Ann C. Taylor, public defender, and J. Weston Logsdon, chief deputy litigation, and Latah County prosecutor William, and hereby do stipulate. So they have already agreed to this about the non-dissemination order prohibiting attorneys, investigators, and law enforcement personnel from making any extrajudicial statements, written or oral, concerning the case other than quotations from or reference to, without comment, the public record of the case. So they're saying that they can come out to the public and talk to them, but they have to read they can't add their own commentary to it. They can read quotations from lawful documents within the court record, but they're not allowed to add any additional commentary over and above what has actually been sent into the court record. So I just want to make sure everybody knows that everybody keeps thinking, oh, there's a gag order. You have to read the order. You can literally have 10 gag orders in a case and still receive documents from that case, because you have to read the language of the gag order. This gag order is for statements made. They didn't say you can't hand out documents of the court case. And that's how we got these. But you know what I'm saying? When this stipulation came in and when this gag order went in, it didn't say that the public is prohibited from acquiring documents or learning of this case or having information. It's saying that we have to keep this to the record. You can make any kind of statement, that you want to, as long as it's a quotation from or reference to, without comment, the public record. Stipulation is based on the Sixth Amendment and the defendant and state's interest under both Idaho and U.S. Constitution. This court has both a constitutional duty and the inherent authority to minimize the efforts of prejudicial pre-trial publicity and to ensure the effective, I can't even pronounce that word, I'll have to look it up, but they're just basically saying that we have a right to a fair trial. Okay, that's what all that language basically means. As this court is aware, this case involves matters that have received a great deal of publicity. Under the United States Supreme Court has identified non-dissemination order as being properly, narrowly tailored, as well as the least restrictive means to ensure a fair trial. And you notice how they make an emphasis on least restrictive. That is actually part of our laws here. You can't, if you have a less restrictive law or measure you put in place as opposed to a more strict and authoritarian type, they are going that you can get sued for that, and you can be forced to take the less restricted route. So they're putting that in there. All these words matter when they are writing these legal documents. Every single word that is in this legal document is legally defined in what is known as Black Law's Dictionary. And even to, like you say, people don't realize in legal documents, they say you must. You think that when somebody says you must do this, that means that you have to do it. Believe it or not, when they use the word must in there, it gives you your option to get out. However, if they say you shall do this, shall makes that a requirement. If you don't do that, then you are holding the bag. So if for example, they shall have a body present, if they don't have a body present, they cannot go on with the case. So shall, will, may, must. Shall is the strongest language you can use in a contract. It means that you have to do it. Will, may, or must, not so much. Shall. So every single word, a lot of people, that's the legalese that drives everybody nuts. Every single word in this thing is legally defined. Isn't that crazy? As this court is aware, this case involves matters that have received a great deal of publicity in the United States Supreme Court. We already read that. So therefore, they stipulated with the attorneys, and that stipulation gave that judge the information necessary to produce that order. And, she didn't even have to rule on it because it was already stipulated. She just said, okay, we'll do it. Right. And then lastly, I'm not going to go too much more on this. We got a lot of documents here. What is this one? Okay, and this is the second amended order governing courthouse and courtroom conduct. We all know that. Actually, when you're on their website, they actually, if you're going to be in that courtroom, they give you a booklet online to tell you what kind of conduct you need to have while you're in that courtroom with this case. I saw it myself. So I'm not going to go too much into this. We got a lot more documents, as you can see, even including the arrest warrant itself, order to preserve evidence. So we're building our case file with the legit pleadings that are being submitted to the court. And again, this will be a lot more documents coming March. The first week of March, we're going to be getting even more of the court record that we will review. But just to let you know, we are building the file for this. We will have all the court records for you. If you guys would like to see them or read them, maybe I'll figure a way to get them posted. I may just update. I may throw them on Bullhorn Betty True Crime channel, True Crime page. If you guys have not been to the Bullhorn Betty True Crime page, people drop a lot of information that they're finding from other stuff. So be in the know first, and get over there and sign up for, the Bullhorn Betty True Crime page. I make an appearance every now and again on there, so you guys can even see me. But it's funny because I love my mods. You guys don't know how hard the mods on this channel work. They literally manage the comments, they manage the chat, they manage the Facebook page, and they manage me, right? They're sending me stuff. I could always tell when I step on toes because then I'm just joking. Oh, thank you, Jennifer. God bless you. God bless you. Thank you for the super sticker. Myrtle says, my ex-husband, when I was a young girl, smacked me so hard one day, he gave me a bloody nose. You know what I did the next? I packed my kids and my things and got the heck out of there and never went back. Great job. Great job. And you know what? We like hearing stories like that. That was Kaylee Gonzalez. Kaylee Gonzalez was like that. In that interview with her father, him and his wife were talking about this date that, Kaylee went on, and the guy she went on a date with was joking around and said, make me a quesadilla, B, or B, make me a quesadilla, something like that. And she was so highly offended, she grabbed all of her stuff and left. And that was the first time her parents realized that even when her and Jack fought, he had never called her a nasty name, because she had never been spoken to like that by anyone. Since I came in late, we will discuss, what is it? Since I came in late, did we discuss how Brian's team requested phone numbers and addresses of the remaining tenants? Yeah. People are all, up in arms about that. This happens in every case. I know, we're analyzing it. Even me, I'm like, that's just terrifying to put that kind of information in the defense hands. But the defense, even like the attorney, she has every right to protect that information. She can have that information and they can go over it, but they can easily redact that from ever being with the defendant. And not only that, the defendant is now under protective order. Like, he cannot reach out to anybody. He can get rearrested even in jail if he sends them a letter, calls them, does anything. He is to have no contact with any witness or victim of this case. That was ordered. So yeah, it's concerning, but to be honest with you, they have the right, because what they have to do, maybe not necessarily the phone number, but they definitely have the right to have their name, their address, and because of the new laws, we can have electronic filing. So if I needed to send you a notice and I have your email, I can send you that notice by email. But most of everything needs to be in form of mailing. I'm not sure about the phone number or the email, but they are required to have the address of where she resides or where she wants legal documents, because the defense does have a right to call her as a witness and subpoena her to be there. And you can't subpoena somebody without their address. So it's not really something that I really pay too much attention to. This is standard practice. I know people want to throw things out of proportion, but the reason why I'm not bringing it up is because it is something that the defense is required to have. I mean, they're entitled to it. Period. They're entitled to it. It doesn't matter. I mean, there's been a lot of people that have murdered people across this country that ask for the same exact stuff because, again, they have a right to address the accuser, and that's what they have a right to do. So it's like you going to jail. Can you imagine if you went to jail and got locked up for a crime, and especially one that you did not commit, and you're trying to find witnesses or somebody to help you, and you have no way of contacting anybody because the defense is holding all the cards? They can't do that. So it's standard. This is standard. Now, the co-defendant thing in that letter, everybody's trying to play that off like it's standard. Now, that to me is not standard. This here, asking these questions, it's standard. I've done it before myself. Now, granted, it wasn't a murder case. It was a civil litigation case. So that means it was it's not a criminal. It doesn't rise to the level of criminality, but it does rise to the level of you did wrong and we're going to sue you and take you to court type stuff. But yeah, you know that this is standard. So that's I just want to make sure you guys know. I know people are going to try to blow that out. Oh my God. Let me get my click in my view. So let's blow this out of proportion. Can you believe that they want Dylan's address? Oh my God. Those are people that have no earthly idea about the law. Okay. It's a nothing burger. It really is. It's a nothing burger. I promise you it's a nothing burger. You want to go over and entertain all this stuff, go ahead. It's it for entertainment value. I'm not doing entertainment over here this morning. We're talking about legit stuff, and it is standard. That stuff, the phone numbers, I promise you, that is all standard. Betty, I don't have enough wall space to write all my notes. I think you're going to be the bullhorn Betty version of Paper Cut Tina on Dolly Vision. Oh, Snow, it's nice to see you here. Good morning. GG for life, same. Let's see here. Love the video where Ethan and his friend was singing. They having so much fun. Yeah, you know, it's so sad. This whole situation is so sad, you know, hearing these kids and just, I think what's so sad for me is that you guys, even though you get to watch the videos and things like that related to these kids, you guys never really got I never got to meet them, obviously, but you never got to know them. And that's what makes this so much more tragic, is that we went out there in search of answers about who they were. And it just, it attaches you so much more to the case when you know them. It seemed like these 4 individuals were bright. They loved life. They were very tenacious, vivacious. I mean, just a litany of words to describe these children, these kids, these young adults that were going to college, just getting out in the world, just getting ready to really start their life out. And when you get to know them and find out how truly special each one of them were, you know, they all had these amazing gifts. It brings that devastation up so many more notches to know the level of the loss, because that really is. And I think Steve Gonsalves said it better. Like, his daughter was going to make her mark on this world. She was going to be a great citizen of this country. They all were. They all had big dreams, big plans, and I no doubt believe that they would have executed their life beautifully. It was just, it really is something that can't be explained. This guy was a lunatic, a closet lunatic that had evil intentions years ago. This was not manifested in 4 short months that he was out at Washington State University. This man actually went to school to become the best serial killer this world knew. He is pure evil. Pure evil. And it took the good men and women of Mascow Police Department, the Idaho State Police, and the FBI to combat that. Good people versus evil people. Good one in this case. It can't take away the despicable act that was committed upon 4 beautiful people, but it does show you good trumps evil. It does. It does. BK. Mama Bullhorn says, oh, sorry. We only have 488 likes. We have almost 850 people in chat. Why don't we just take a little break? Let's step away. Go give us a thumbs up. You're giving a thumbs up, not just to me, but the beautiful mods that make sure that you guys have a wonderful chatting experience, this channel, and yourselves, right? Because you guys are part of the family. So go out there, give yourselves a thumbs up. You're doing a great job, right? Doing a great job. So we got Team Rose. One of the reasons for good footage was to record his visible wounds. It's possible. It's possible. We do have that recording. It's funny. I've already got it hooked. Does this one? No, I think I got. Where is my videos? Hold on a second. Let me find my videos. Hold on. I gotta remove this so I can put this back. Windows. All right, guys, I'm gonna hopefully you guys can hear this. Let me know if you guys cannot hear this. I mean, it's not, there's no real volume yet. He still hasn't turned his volume on. There it is. So we can, it does appear that there is some swelling. I mean, obviously they're just, I mean, he's just like, he almost looks angry in this, like, what in the F are you doing stopping me again? He has to, at this point, that look on his face, and I know we beat this whole entire video up, but that look on his face is just something. I don't know if I'll ever get out of my Morphew. Yeah, thank you, Just a Girl. We'll get out of that. The state of Idaho may be liable for Idaho victims for giving families, giving families a huge payday, I pray. I'm not sure that they will have any culpability. I don't think the state of Idaho, unless they like totally screw up this case and tank it. But even then, you know, I don't know if that will rise to the level of failing to protect these children or not doing everything right. I mean, we have to think that this was an unknown person. He was a maniac. He was going to school to become a serial killer, and they found his butt within under 50 days. I don't know. I mean, that to me is huge. We never get cases. I mean, look at these cases when it's a slam dunk. Look at Lylon, right? She was out of jail longer than that, and they knew she did it literally from day one. So I don't know. We'll see, Caroline. I don't know. It's possible, but I don't know if the families would go after the law enforcement. I think the families are very thankful that they we'll see how the court, you know, he's still presumed innocent. They still have to convict him in a court of law. I am not that. You know what I am? I'm a person that does this. Everybody's like, "Oh, it's innocent before guilt." You have to be accused before you're afforded that opportunity. You have to be accused, you have to be arrested, you have to be charged with the crime. You have to be presumed guilty before you're offered innocent before guilt. Right? People are having two totally different, trying to drive a narrative that this man is now in court. This is where his innocence, the state has to prove their case. He is innocent of the crimes until they prove the case and convict him and he goes to jail. But they still have to accuse him, they still have to arrest him, and they still have to book him before he's afforded court. So these people that want to say innocent before guilt, I am not a court of law, nor have I ever said. I'm the one that points fingers at people and says they're guilty. That's my job. And I take that job seriously. And I realize that the stuff that I do can ruin somebody's life if I do it wrong. And that's why I'm always cautious about what I say and how I say it. But there it is. His hand still looks a little swollen. We've seen this scratch here. We see this little mark over here. You know, he's hiding this hand. You don't even see this hand. And his face kind of says it all. So, I don't know. I'm going to be here for a while. We're already over 2 hours. Do you guys want me to open the phone lines or open the panel? If you guys want me to open the phone lines, put 1. If you guys want me to open the panel, put 2. If you guys want me not to do anything and keep moving on, put 3. Let's see where you guys go. I got a delay for 60 seconds, so I'm just going to yap here and let you guys see this for 60 seconds before. All right. Freckles says he could be guilty, but I think more players. I keep wondering, my Mama Bullhorn brought this up to me. Could the co-defendant be his dad? His dad did fly out there. What did his dad do? Did his dad help him clean his house? Did his dad help him clean out the car? Did he talk to his dad about what he did and say, "Oh crap, what do I do now?" I mean, we don't know that 1 and 2. Okay, 1 and 2, 1 and 2, 1 and 2, 1 and 2. Okay, Miss Robin of 3. I think she just did 3 because it's her lucky number. Yeah, okay. So we almost got almost to 500 likes, guys. We almost have 900 people in the chat right now. Please do me a solid. Go out there, give me a thumbs up, give yourself a thumbs up, and give the mods a thumbs up because we do great work here. And we deserve to say thank you to each other. So go out there. I even liked it. I went out there and liked it for you guys. Bullhorn Betty's got a big old thumbs up, and that my thumbs up goes to my mods and my audience. So anyways, this character, you know, his dad flew in. We were very confused about that. And so I'm curious about everything. You know, we talked about quite a bit in the 2-hour segment that we have here. We talked about Athena Brownfield. We talked about Madalina Cojocari. We learned and got updated on the Oakley Carlson case. And then we discussed some of the documents, the complaint, the stipulation, for the dissemination of stuff. And, I'm clarifying that these statements, this gag order is not saying that we can't have records, that we can't be provided records, that we can't have the public record, or we can't stick with the public record. It is for law enforcement not to have any additional commentary, thoughts, opinions, or speculation on the case, because this is so public and the publicity is so high. They don't want anything to affect him not being able to have a fair trial. Many of you guys don't know Jonathan Lee Riches, because we're all so overwhelmingly consumed with this Idaho Four, that all the cases that we've been covering that are coming to court, like the Delphi, like we have been hot and heavy on YouTube for the girls of Delphi for years, wanting to know who could have done this horrible atrocities to these kids. What he did to these girls was horrible. And we have been waiting for the day that somebody had been charged with the girl's death. And we get it. And it's Richard Allen. JLR, he's going to court. Our beloved JLR was there. Nobody even cared. We've been fighting for these girls for years, and nobody gives a crap. Nobody. It's just, I've never seen anything like this before. If you guys have not gone out and over to JLR's channel, go on over there. He's got stuff for Richard Allen. He had an opportunity to speak directly with that sicko. So make sure you guys go over there and check his content out and look at him. Show him some love on the Delphi. Nobody else was covering it. I think Grizzly True Crime, Grizzly True Crime, whatever her channel. By the way, I like her channel. And I can watch those the plane stuff. They have that simulator where they can go over things. It's actually kind of cool, but there's only so much of that I can watch before I start getting dizzy and I can't look at it anymore, But it's kind of neat. She's very creative. I like her work. She's very creative with her timelines, her slides, her just really a real great benefit to the true crime channel and genre here on YouTube, and does such a great thing. But I think she was running it on hers as well. And you could hear JLR in the back screaming at Richard Allen. It was awesome. So big old shout out and kudos to JLR for his commitment to these cases, even when sometimes we kind of get sidetracked, right? So again, go over there, check that out. You'll be glad you did. I'm just glad that the girls are finally getting justice. I wish we could have him, JLR out there for the entire trial to give us up-to-date feedback and everything like that. But what made me bring up the Richard Allen case is because, or the Delphi case is because with the whole publicity on that one, what they did is it was going to be way too expensive to move the trial to a different county. So they're actually bringing jurors from a different area in. It's cheaper for them to shuttle jurors in than to move this out. So, because you got witnesses, you got all these people have to be, they have to be there. So say a witness is in a different state, that witness has to be flown in. If the majority of all the people are in one county and you go 5 counties away to get a fair trial, that's going to start getting costly very, very quickly. The judge identified the issues and she addressed them, or he. I don't know if it's a female or a male. Sorry, I wasn't paying that close attention myself. I watched JLR's videos, but I wasn't in the courtroom, and I don't know if he's got content from in the courtroom or if they would have allowed him to videotape in the courtroom. Either way, he was out there, but they moved all that stuff. So what I'm saying is that with this case, I don't know if they apply that and they can agree to that, they may actually have this trial in Latah County Courthouse and shuttle the jurors in from surrounding counties so he can have a fair trial. I thought that was brilliant. A lot of these cases, when you have a change of venue, they're usually granted in public cases like this. I feel this whole bringing, I haven't heard of that being done very much. But what a great what a great and cost-effective way of handling it. And I hope that you know, these other counties and states and everything take note of this, because this would be a great strategy moving forward that'll help save us lots of money as opposed to moving the case into a different county. You know, I think it's great. Have everybody meet at one courthouse, have a bus there, and just shuttle them all in, right? Sounds great. Sounds great. Love when people start thinking out of the box and start really putting stuff together that has meaningful purpose. And I think this was a great call in the Richard Allen case. And I hope they do something similar to this for this crazed lunatic, Brian Kohberger, because you know what? I think Latah County deserves to have him tried there. I really do. I don't care where they have to pull the jurors from. I truly believe he should have to be tried in Latah County, period. So I'm hoping that was, I hope that's what they end up doing for his case. His case is much more public. Like there's a lot of stuff died down on the Delphi case, but when it was hot and heavy, it was hot and heavy. Everybody knew this case. Everybody thought that those two despicable people, Kelsey and his father, what's their last name? I don't know why I'm drawing a blank right at the moment. Of course, naturally, I have to draw a blank, right? But everybody thought it was them, and I still think that it is. I was talking to a friend yesterday about this case, and one of the things is, you know, I still think, and this person also said that they believe this case, that the father and the son and this man here are connected somehow. They believe that this is a connected effort. There's a reason why they're all still in jail. You know what I'm saying? So we can't forget about Dylan Rounds too. Absolutely, Mama Llama. Absolutely. Still nothing. I haven't even looked into them in forever, and it's sad. But we've got so many. Like you can literally just take a whole bunch of papers and put them in a hat and pull one out. I mean, that's how many cases we have. It's sad. This should not be happening. You know, if we see all these hate channels out there, and it's like, you know, can you imagine how powerful YouTube could be if we were all just a little kinder to each other? If we didn't have to, like, I'm not a bully. I don't go pick on people. When you hear from me and I'm out in front of your house, you're probably a real despicable person. Okay, let's be honest. None of you guys have seen me wind up on your doorstep, have you? Right? None of you. There's a lot of cases that go on around this country all the time. You don't see me on their front doorsteps. But when I show up to your front door, you better say, oh shit. I'm not religious, but what I say, he who has not sinned cast the first stone. We all have a past. It's what you're doing here and now that matters. Love each other and be good humans. Women are sacred. That is beautiful. Thank you. You know, if we had more people that believed like this, can you imagine how great our country would be? I don't know where all this evil infiltrated from, but I have to think it's I know I have some atheists in my chat, and that's okay. But I still believe what I believe, just like you believe what you believe. And I truly believe that all this hate has come because we removed God from everything. What's so wrong with believing in something bigger and better than yourself? Somebody that teaches patience and love and kindness, but also teaches, now this is what people don't understand. The Bible teaches you not to be a doormat either. Just because you're religious doesn't mean people get to walk all over you. Doesn't mean that you don't say bad words. Doesn't mean that you don't make mistakes. It just means that you're going to get through them and you're going to be absolved of them. Betty hasn't seen all the new videos, I guess, that came out. There's major cover-up going on, and anyone can see it now by looking at old news footage from December. What case? Well, we covered quite a few cases here. Which case are you referring to? The chic antique. Oh, I love that. So you're the one that I'm actually, I just read. You knew I read your comment, but I'm just curious as to, with your comment, which case are we referring to? I'll run down here and see if you've responded. Too many cases, and people like your channel and others are trying to bring awareness and help. I don't understand how people can knock that, because they've got nothing, because they refuse to help. They don't want to help. They don't want to help at all. They're not helpers. They are takers. You've got givers and takers in this world. I used to be a taker. I didn't care about people's feelings. I had a lot of my own problems to deal with. I didn't care. It's crazy because the tables have turned, so much so that I care too much. I do. But believe me, I still have my street in me. That street ain't going nowhere. Okay? I'm telling you, it's going nowhere. You F with me, I F with you. That's how we work. That's how I roll. That's how I was taught. Eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. You want to come over and step in shit? All right. Buckle up, buttercup. That's the way we roll. This new age of things, of doing things. They got these kids now having to have safe spaces and personal care. What? How's that personal care treating you? This is funny, because everybody that hears personal care, I have to chuckle to myself sometimes. Because, I watch people, the younger generation, and they're like, oh, I'm getting stressed out. I got a lot on my plate. I'm getting stressed. I need a break. I can't handle the stress. I'm thinking they are screwing our kids up so bad that they don't even know how to deal with life. Like, literally, they have no idea how tough and hard life is. They are completely unaware and are constantly stressed out because our schools have taught them that they're all winners. Well, when you get out in the real world, there's haves and have-nots. And the fair police ain't going to fix that, baby. Okay? Your self-care ain't going to fix that. You know what I learned with self-care? This is why I take vacations like once a year. Is because when I try to take self-care, guess what? That work is still piling it up, piling it up, piling it up, piling up. So why am I going to take time off to give myself a break and relax when I'm going to come back the very next effing day and have to deal with all this extra work that now has me 10 times more stressed than before I left? Self-care. That's my tangent. Quit making sissies out of our kids. And you toughen up. It's an ugly world out here. We need tough people, not sponges. Self-care. I was talking to not Olivia. Who was it? It was Marissa. I was talking to Marissa. I'm like, what is up with all this self-care garbage? Self-care? You know what self-care is? Self-care is going out on the weekend and on the boat. That's self-care. Taking 3 days off because you're stressed. Trust me, it ain't fixing your workload, honey. You got a big old workload when you come back. You might as well just work on through it. And that's the only way you're going to distress yourself, is get the crap up off your to-do list. If you guys haven't, now, many of you guys don't know, I'm very, well, you guys all know I'm strategic, but this didn't just come about like in the last year. It's always been something. So, I mean, I'm strategic to the point of seconds and minutes of my day. And I tried to explain this to Olivia, because the reason why I don't like my iPhone is I got to go through 8 different steps to accomplish what I was able to accomplish on my Android in 2. So I'm having to create 3 or 4 different videos as to oppose of one, because the camera doesn't flip from the front screen to the back screen. This phone is, I spent over $1,000 on this phone, absolutely worthless to me because of that one thing. Because of that one thing. Never mind about the umpteen other things that I really don't like about iPhones. Like, iPhones have people brainwashed. If you really think your iPhone is amazing, now granted, it's a great quality phone. You drop it, that thing will still work. You could probably run over your iPhone with a car and turn it on. Okay, I'm not arguing about that. I dropped my stupid Samsung, which I like. I love this phone, best phone I've ever had in my life. this phone right here, an Android. I still believe that. And this phone right here, drop it one time, the whole entire LCD screen is shot. In an OtterBox, nonetheless. This is an OtterBox that it's in. The Defender OtterBox, by the way. This wasn't the cheap, lowest model OtterBox, and I drop it and the damn thing breaks. One time. That's all it took. So I do believe in the quality of the iPhone being good, but the technology in the iPhone sucks. If you know what, it's like if they just married these two phones together, the iPhone and the Samsung married, it would create the perfect baby. It would create the perfect baby. But this phone, I literally got 10 times more work done than that $1,000 iPhone. Quicker, because every second counts. When I can take, like, even in my videos, it has a button on my Samsung that I can take a screenshot right there. With the iPhone, guess what I have to do? I've got to take a screenshot by pushing two buttons. Then I got to go in there, and then I got to crop it. I don't have to do that with the Samsung. Who wants to go through all that extra work? Who? So Laura Stacks is a brilliant, does a lot of, motivational speaking, but it's all about your timing, and utilizing your time well. Well, I took that course years ago, changed my life. Another thing is eat that frog. Eat that frog. Why am I going through this? Because if you do things strategically, you don't need all this self-care crap that they're telling you, and you'll be more productive. Laura Stacks productivity. That's what she's the name of the game. And that's when she said, look at all this time. Like every time you have to stop, that's 15 seconds. Do you know that every time you are distracted throughout the day, you probably lost about an hour of work for stupid distractions? It talks about real work versus busy work. You always hear me talking about busy work. But Eat That Frog is by far one of the better books I have ever read about putting things in order, prioritizing your life. If you have not watched that, it's more for business, but it can literally be applied in every aspect of your life. And basically what it's saying is everybody, when they have a lot of tasks to do, they always want to do the stuff that they can take off the list quickly. Boom, 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 and leave that tough task to the end. And then it takes them longer to do that tough task that they go over their timeline, the deadline. So what this book teaches you is to address your biggest problem first, the ugliest, fattest, biggest frog. And you tackle that first. And then once you're completed with that, all those little stuff, it just feels like a breath of fresh air. You're like, boom, 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 boom. Now everything is done. Everything is done on time. So productivity is definitely a big thing in my life. And everything I do, I like to do effective and efficient. So the iPhone, honestly, guys, I have to be honest with you. I'm probably going to get the newer Samsung, and I'm probably going to list the iPhone on, Facebook Marketplace or Macari or something like that. What is the other ones? eBay, Amazon. I'll probably throw that up there as a used item for $900. It's got half a terabyte of memory in it. But it's just, it's getting to the point where I'm hitting my head against the wall because I'm having to do so much extra work to get my work done. I've always worked from my phone. I should be able to produce great content like I've always been able to produce right from my phone. I shouldn't have to be, having to airdrop it to my computer so I can work on my computer because it's so much faster on my computer because the damn iPhone sucks. I love the iPhone. Don't get me wrong. If I was just a normal person that just wanted to stream content, just stream and have fun with friends and make phone calls and text messages, perfect phone. But when I'm doing my videos, when I'm doing my lives, when I'm getting these things prepared, when I'm doing my research, when I'm putting this stuff together, it is so difficult on the phone. And and had I known I could not flip my camera while I'm recording, I would never have gotten it. That is such an important feature that I have to have on my phone that the iPhone 12 did not provide me. And I'm so disappointed in iPhone and Apple products that you could not make that one feature available to your audience. Oh, no, you can. You have to buy an app. On my Android, I had umpteen apps. You know, I have never in my life paid one monthly fee on any app on my Android. I come here to the iPhone, I have to pay almost $100 a month for the stuff I could do on my Samsung free of charge. That pisses me off. That pisses me off. I've got to download and pay for an app to be able to flip my camera while I'm recording. You have got to be kidding me. Worse than a BMW. Bring money with you, right? Anyways, I'm done with my soapbox. Just wanted to give you guys that little tidbit of information. And I'm just going to go ahead and dip out. You should look into getting a Google Pixel. I actually did, but you know what? To be honest with you, it's like I'm so comfortable with Samsung. I know that it does everything I want it to do. The only thing I hate about it is it's not as indestructible as the iPhone. That's the only thing I don't like about it. That's why I said, if they could make a Samsung as strong and work as well as the iPhone, especially when it's dropped or plunges in water, they would have literally the best product on the market. But the iPhone, I guess people hyped it up about how wonderful their iPhone is, that when I get it, it's like, wait, I can't do this. And I'm asking Olivia, it's like, oh no, you can't do that. Oh, can I do this? No, you can't do that. I said, well, how do you do it? She's like, oh, I have to do this. What? You know what? I did that on my phone with one step. Are you kidding me? So it is becoming very apparent that if I'm going to stick to the iPhone, it's going to cause my life hell, because I'm a productivity person. I don't like wasting time. And that's what I feel like I do. I can use my iPhone underwater, no problems. Okay, well, like I said, the iPhone underwater, it's indestructible. It goes into water. That's why I said if literally Samsung and iPhone had a baby, that baby would be my baby. Because there's things on the iPhone I absolutely love, and that is the fact that it has almost indestructible features. Even when you crack the screen all the hell, it still works. A Samsung, you crack the screen, you're screwed. I know the last few times he was in Tennessee, he hung up a billboard posters for person posters at Mountain Girl. BHB was with him. Yeah, there was a whole group of us. If you're talking about Dolly, yeah, there was a whole group of us that went out there to do that. Apparently, he's going to be working with Crazy Daisy. Good luck with that, buddy. I will never, ever work with Crazy Daisy, ever. After she acted like she was my friend, and then instead of her calling me or reaching out to me to say what went on with Brandy, because she had the whole story wrong, as many of you guys watched what happened, and then she wants to go and not even give me the courtesy of picking up the phone. She has been attacked so many times, and I went over there and gave her words of encouragement. And when I was attacked, you know what she did? She jumped on the bandwagon. So as far as I'm concerned, that you have no integrity. So if Dolly wants to partner with somebody with no integrity, more power to him. I hope he doesn't get screwed. I'm out. I'll be moving, doing my own thing. With that aspect, I don't want people saying, "Oh my God, oh, poor Betty's out." That's not what I'm saying. Whatever he's concocting with Crazy Daisy, I'm not supporting. I will not support. Not after what she did to me. And if he doesn't care, that's on him. I will not support it. So, good luck. That's all I can say, right? Good luck. After the elevator had to replace the tempered glass, but the phone was still perfect. Yeah, my Sam. Well, this is the S10, but this is a 0.5 terabyte phone as well, and it's the Note because it has the little pen and stuff in it. But this is the second phone. I dropped the first phone. I fixed the first phone screen, dropped it in this. I'll never buy another OtterBox again. This was a waste of money, because let me tell you, I have dropped this phone in this case 4 times, and all 4 times the phone broke. The glass shattered. So it's garbage. But I already had another phone. I replaced the glass once. literally got it 2 weeks later. It falls on my carpet out the front door. And the way it landed, it cracked the glass. Yes, I'm not lying. And so I went with the cracked glass until the whole screen went out. And then when the whole screen went out, I decided it was cheaper for me to buy another phone than it was for me to get the glass fixed on it. And wouldn't you know, I broke the phone. Look at this. My glass is not even shattered. If you can see it, I have not a shatter in my glass. I got a little nick right here, a small little nick right here. And my entire LCD does not work. Not even a shattered screen. And because of that nick, my LCD went out. That's what I don't like about Samsungs. Apple, you know, better quality. Samsung, better productivity. Marry the two freaking phones together. We'll have the best phone in the entire world. I just took a screenshot by double tapping the back of my iPhone. Didn't even have to push any buttons. Double tapping the back of my iPhone. Let's see. Double tapping the back of the iPhone. All right, let's see what she's talking about. I'm interested. Hey, you got some hacks? Throw them out. Throw them out. But mine's in a case. Yeah, mine won't do that. I can't tap on the back of mine and get it to work. I just tried. All right. All right. What does it say here? Do you think Brian was wearing medical booties during the murder? No, I don't. I don't, because there was a clear shoe print at that location. And you know what? Here, I'll tell you guys something. Listen to this. All BS set aside. Remember how I said that I truly believe when he went back to that house, because we got word that the door was wide open that next day between like 8:30, 9 o'clock. The witness said wide open. And then we found out through Brett Payne's affidavit that Brian Kohberger was in that area from like 9:12 to 9:23 or something like that. I can't remember the specificity, but something like that. And I told you guys then, I believe he realized the law enforcement had not been called and he went into that house. I believe he went to that door and that door was unlocked. I believe he went into that house and listen to this. Remember the shoe print? That shoe print? That one lone shoe print? I truly believe that's when that was left. I've got no evidence. That is pure 100% speculation. But I believe he went into that house and looked at his work again before he finally left. And I do believe he may have actually planted that sheathing there. He wanted that sheathing to be found. I don't think that that was an accident. I never thought that was an accident. I could be horribly wrong, but it's just my opinion that I don't believe that that was an accident. And I do believe he went in that house that morning, and that's the reason why he was there. And I think by him going into that house, I think he made some crucial errors, including leaving a footprint. I could be wrong. That may have been left when he committed the murders and all this other stuff. I have no earthly idea. Oh, the Apple logo. Hold on, let me turn this. Hold on. Let me see. I'm gonna probably have to take this, but it doesn't work for me because everybody has cases on their phone. Everybody. They need to make something a little easier. But even my Samsung, you know, you have to hit 2 buttons to get it to take a screenshot. But when you're on a video, they actually have like a little box there. So if I pause a video and I get a perfect shot, say like I'm recording the house and I have this perfect angle of the house and I pause the video, it actually has this little camera over in the corner, and you literally hit this and it gives you a crystal clear shot that does not need to be cropped at all. It's time saver. So let me take this off and see if I can do it. The Apple symbol. Okay, I got the Apple symbol. Okay. It's not doing it. see if I can open something up. Open StreamYard, right? Why not? So we're live on one of these. It's not doing it. The only way I can take a screenshot is the top one and the side button. Oh, I'm not even doing that right. Hold on. That's the only way I can take a shot. Like that. Just like that. So let me delete that. I don't want it taking up my storage. So anyways, guys, I decided not to open the phone lines or anything up. I've been enjoying reading your chats and stuff like that, but it is kind of winding down to about 12:39. I just want to tell you guys all, thank you guys for swinging by and talking to me. We have a members only discussion that's scheduled for later today. I'm probably going to push that to tomorrow. Oh, shoot, I can't. Tomorrow I will not be here, guys. Tomorrow is Tuesday. Tuesday, every other week, I will be coming late in the day. Tuesdays, when I go to the county stuff, that's an all-day thing. I'm up at 6:30, and I don't get back here until almost 10 at night. So Tuesdays, two Tuesdays a month, I will not be here on this channel at all. If I can get a video or something dropped while I'm out and about, I will. But Tuesdays are really kind of my community county obligations that I do. So I'll be at meetings and stuff all day long, working with politicians and things like that. I need their help, and clearly they need mine. So that's where we're at. Copy Glimmers. We are almost at 950 people here in the chat. So please, if you haven't already, go out and like this segment. What we did today is we used this platform to cover 3 children cases before we got into the meat and potatoes of Idaho 4. I really do challenge the other creators out there on YouTube that, we know how important the Idaho 4 case is, but let's start incorporating some of these cases that are active that still need our help. We've got children out here that are missing that somebody might have answers to, that they may not even realize that they are in the area where one of these kids are missing, or that they may have real tangible information that could really help these cases. And at the end of the day, we do know the fate of the Idaho 4, as sad as it is. We already know their fate. So I'd really like to challenge other creators to start incorporating, not take the focus off the Idaho 4. I know it's a dominating case, but just please start, talking about other cases. We've got beautiful babies out there. Again, Athena Brown, Madalina Cojocari. These are, and this is just 2 of many. Let's just incorporate 1 or 2 of these missing children in our segments in the morning, just clips or something, just to bring some awareness on your channel. That truly would be a big help for these missing kids out here in America. That many may not even be here because at the hands of their parents. It's becoming a problem, and I'm not sure how we're going to fix it, but I really do believe that centralized database at least will stop them from being able to jump states. State jumping. That's what I'm going to call it. State jumping. To avoid being in trouble because they're shitty parents. So yeah, we need Summer found. I agree with you, Snow. We need a lot of these babies found. I mean, think about it. All the kids that disappeared at the time outside of Serenity McKinney have not been found. We still don't know where Harmony Montgomery is. We still don't know where Cody Bigsby is. We still don't know where Summer Wells is. We still don't know where Michael Monkey Vaughn is. We still don't know where Oakley Carlson is. I mean, come on. These parents are killing their kids, and they're getting away with this shit. The West Boys, Classic and Sincere. We still haven't found them. Where are these babies? And I just spit names off the top of my head. We've been doing this a while, folks. We've been doing this a while. We got babies missing. 1 child in this last year has been recovered, and that has been Serenity McKinney. Now, there's been other kids that have been recovered, but the ones that dominated YouTube airwaves, Serenity McKinney is the only one that has been recovered. So let's start helping these other kids. So I just challenge the other creators on YouTube that, I know you guys have great platforms and channels and are legit and really are out here to try to help. Let's just take it up a notch. We do have a major case, the Idaho Four, that is dominating the YouTube, but we can use that to still help these other cases. Just take 5 minutes of your segment and devote it to a new case, Madalina, Athena, or a number of other missing children like Summer Wells, Cody Bigsby, Michael Monkey Vaughn. Let's just keep pushing this. We need to find them. We need to find people that have legit info that can help solve some of these cases. But with that, guys, God bless each and every one of you. Thanks for spending 3 hours on your Monday with me. I'm going to reschedule tonight. It is members only. This is going to be, it's not going to be tonight, though. We will do this on Wednesday. I don't want it to make it the morning coffee club because it's members only, and it's truly members only. That means you have to be a member to watch it. You have to be a member to comment on it. We have enough members that we should have at least 100 so people in chat to have this discussion. And the reason why I'm taking it off of YouTube for public or otherwise is because we're going to be talking about the death penalty on that segment. And I think that I want to make sure that you guys have a place where we can have an open discussion about the death penalty and how it applies with the Idaho Four. But I think I'm going to put that in for Wednesday afternoon. We'll see, but I'll make it after lunch. I think Mama Bullhorn's trying to get Auntie Bullhorn and all of us together for lunch on Wednesday. So we will see how that all rock and rolls on that day. But it will be coming up. If you guys aren't members and you want to become a member, my mods can get you the link to the membership if you're on iPhone. Otherwise, just go out there and just hit the join me button so you don't miss that segment. With that, guys, I want to tell you, God bless each and every one of you. We are working hard. We've got some more documents. We didn't go over the entire file that I have here on Brian Kohberger. We only went through a couple things, went through the complaint and the stipulation. But again, I think Maddie being the first degree murder charge up at the top, there's a reason for that. I don't know why. I don't know what the reason is, but I did speculate some of the reasons. I do believe she's the first named. But if her and Xana were targets, she would have been first, Xana would have been second, or Xana would have been first and she would have been second. But it goes Maddie, Kaylee, Xana, then Ethan. I want to know why they chose that order. But those types of things matter in law. So with that, guys, I bid you adieu. Have an amazing Monday. God bless each and every one of you. And who knows, I might decide to throw something out later today. I will be working on, following these cases. And as I do, I find it easier just for me to put together, a 3 to 5 minute video and pop that out to you guys so you guys can get immediate information now without having to go through the whole live process. So please pay attention to those videos because that's me communicating with you during the day. Anyways, guys, I love you. God bless. Have a great day. Don't forget to be fearless. It's not easy. It's not easy being fearless. But if you do see something, please say something because an ounce of prevention is worth a pound to cure. Good day.
As you wake up in the morning, you want to find the latest, greatest information about criminal cases and have an intuitive conversation about the suspects associated with these cases. Head over to the Bullhorn Betty channel on YouTube. Get breaking news right here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club. Enjoy your stay and enjoy your day.